Welcome back to FRCinSight. I'm your host Eric Ching, and today we have our section of the week on manufacturing. Today we're starting off with an interview with the manufacturing lead, Leon Tang. So let's first get started. What does manufacturing do? What is their role as a sub-team?
So manufacturing as a sub-team, our primary goal, especially during the build season, is to just get parts pumped out to the designers. So they'll be sending us design drawings, they'll be sending us part drawings, CADs, and CAMs, and we plug those into machines, or we make those by hand. And in our shop, with all the various machines, we got lathe, we got lasers, we got a CNC. So we use all those machines and we make the parts, and then we transfer that over to the designers to then assemble the robot. So our job is to make the parts that are then assembled, and then usually we'll also help out with assembly.
And so what do you do as the lead for manufacturing?
So manufacturing, as the lead, my primary role is really just to keep everyone organized, because there's a lot of different machines, there's a lot of different people. Since we're the biggest we've ever been this year, it's a lot of trouble or work trying to manage all these different people and making sure that everyone's coordinated, everyone knows where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there. So my job as lead is definitely just making sure that everyone's organized, everyone's out there, everyone's doing what they need to do. And I think something that's really difficult this year is just doing that with a lot of trying to keep people trained, trying to get people out there, and then still trying to maintain social distancing, especially for COVID and that sort of stuff.
All right. How did you get involved in robotics? When did you first start being in robotics?
So I actually did a little bit of robotics in middle school, but then freshman year I actually wasn't able to do that because of various other time commitments. But sophomore year, I thought, why not try robotics again? I'll hop on sophomore year, and that was actually that was the year of inception for 2687. And so my sophomore year, I was actually able to jump straight into FRC, and so that's when I started getting involved in manufacturing. So that's when I was given all the, it was kind of a really big jump at the very beginning, because I had never used a hand drill, to be honest. And so I went from not being able to use a hand drill to using a massive mill, for that matter. And I think that was a big jump. Kind of scared me at first, but it definitely, being thrown into something like that really pushed me, and it kind of got me excited for robotics. And it's from there I kind of got hooked on the first comp, and from there it's, now we're here.
All right. So let's talk about what y'all do in terms of assembling the robot. What do you do at competitions, and what does your team do at competitions?
So 2468, once we hit comp, all right, the robot's completely assembled, right? So now the primary thing that we're looking at is how can we as manufacturers, because our job's basically complete at that point, still assist 2468 or 2687, 2689 at competitions. And so our primary roles as manufacturers at competitions is actually for scouting. And so we'll be out in the stands cheering the teams on, collecting data on other teams, and then plugging those into our new scouting app that we're going to be working on this year. And so outside of that, we're also going to be doing a lot of pit scouting. We're also going to be doing a lot of doing safety, for example. I know we have several people in charge of safety this year, and they're going to be in the pits and making sure that our team is safe, and that a lot of the protocols that we have in our shop is brought along with us to competitions, and that our team is following those protocols at competition.
And this applies to electronics too, with the scouting, right? They'll also be involved?
Yes. So honestly, everyone on our team, once we hit competition, you have the robot already. There's not a lot else that you can do. And so at that point on, everyone's basically involved in scouting. And so it's very crucial for us as a team, since we know we want to be either able to pick strong alliances or be picked by strong alliances. And so it's crucial that we are able to be out there, collect data, and develop strategy as quick as we can.
All right, well, that's all the questions I have today. Thanks you so much for joining us. And now we'll move on to our shop section of today's segment.
Okay guys, today we're going to be taking a tour of the shop. So first of all, I'm going to get my safety glasses and put them on because they're required for anyone who goes in here.
All right. So what's going on in here?
Okay, so we have a lot
Talk louder.
We have a lot of machines in the shop. So over here, we've got bandsaws that you can see are being used right now. So this bandsaw is for cutting wood. This bandsaw over here is for cutting metal. Over here we've got one of our mills. It's currently not operational right now, but we're in the process of fixing it. And how this works is you get a mill, an end mill that spins really fast and can cut stock, this stock right over there. for a robot for its drive base.
So it cuts holes, or does it cut
It can cut holes, it can cut it shorter, it can do a lot of stuff.
So it's like a drill press, but it can cut stuff?
Yeah. And then here we have the drill press, which is kind of a baby mill, but it can only make holes. So you can go down like this, and this mill spins. And then
I see.
over here we have our two CNCs, which these are mine-made machines. And what you do is you would take one of these pieces of metal, you would put it on this table, and then this can move around and cut to make flat parts like gussets and other things like that. And we have two of them. This one though has the addition of the jig, and because our mills, both of them are not working right now, we are able to cut stock that we would have only been able to cut on the mill with our CNC. It can do all the same things, but it's run by the computer instead of a person.
And what is a jig?
The jig is just this section of it right here that allows you to put on tubing.
I see.
Yeah. But if you take that off, you can use the CNC normally. And then here we have another mill that's also broken.
Another broken mill.
Then over here we got 4 lathes. We got 4 lathes. These 2 lathes were our original lathes. They're a lot smaller and easier to use. We use these for a lot of things, like axles and stuff like that. How it works is it spins stock, and then your drill bit, which isn't moving, comes into it and cuts it. And then over here, we've got 2 new big lathes. These are probably the most dangerous machines in the shop. Yeah, they're the most dangerous machines in the shop just because how powerful they are. And as you can see, it's just sized up and from the lathe, and it can make really big parts that we wouldn't have been able to make before. And we have 2 of these. And then finally, we have our 2 laser cutters. This one is new, we just got this year, and it lets us cut wood and plastics and things like that. And over there in that back corner is our old laser cutter.
It smells burnt.
Yes. And those are all the machines in the shop.
I believe this concludes our tour of the manufacturing shop and space. Thank you so much for joining us.